There are weapons you are not allowed to know exist. This is not a conspiracy theory, it is a fundamental reality of national security. Governments around the world operate in shadows, developing technologies so advanced, so potentially disruptive, that their mere existence is a closely guarded secret. These are not the tanks, jets, and missiles you see on the news. They are something else entirely. They are the projects buried deep within black budgets, known only to a select few with the highest security clearances. The public discourse is carefully managed, a stage play of conventional warfare, while the real advancements happen far from any camera or reporter's notebook. These hidden arsenals represent the true frontier of military power, a place where science fiction bleeds into reality. This world of forbidden knowledge is intentionally kept from you. It exists in classified documents, locked away in subterranean vaults. It is discussed in soundproof rooms, shielded from electronic eavesdropping. The men and women who build these weapons sign their lives away, bound by oaths of silence that carry the weight of treason if broken. The secrecy is absolute. It has to be. The programs involve concepts that could destabilize global politics overnight. Think of technologies that could render entire armies obsolete or change the very nature of conflict. Public awareness is not just discouraged, it is actively prevented. This is the domain of ghost projects, of technologies that officially do not and cannot exist. The silence is a weapon in itself. It creates uncertainty among adversaries. It prevents public panic or ethical debates that could derail progress. Imagine the global reaction if the full scope of next-generation weaponry was revealed. The fear, the outrage, the political fallout, it would be immense. So the powers that be have decided that ignorance is a form of stability. They allow us to see the world as it was yesterday, while they build the world of tomorrow in secret. The truth is carefully compartmentalized, broken into tiny pieces so that no single person can see the full, terrifying picture. Only a handful at the very top understand the complete puzzle. This is the unnerving truth of modern defense. The gap between what is known and what is real is widening every single day. We are living in an age of unprecedented technological acceleration, and that acceleration is most pronounced within the military-industrial complex. While we debate the ethics of drones and cyber warfare, new domains of conflict are being opened up in secret. These are the weapons that will define the next century, yet they are being developed without public consent or oversight. They are the forbidden arsenal, and their story is one that is not meant to be told. The whispers, however, sometimes escape the sealed rooms. Secrecy is the lifeblood of advanced military development. It is a shield, a tool, and a foundational principle. From the moment a new, revolutionary concept is born, it is shrouded in layers of classification. This veil of secrecy is not merely about hiding blueprints from spies, it is a comprehensive strategy designed to control information at every level. It protects the technological edge that a nation believes it needs to survive. If an adversary knows what you are building, they can begin building a countermeasure. The goal is to achieve what military planners call strategic surprise, the ability to unveil a capability so new and unexpected that it leaves an enemy completely defenseless and bewildered. The infrastructure of secrecy is vast and deeply embedded within the government. It involves special access programs which are hidden from standard government oversight. These programs operate on black budgets, funding that is intentionally obscured within the massive appropriations for the Department of Defense. This financial sleight of hand ensures that even elected officials on budget committees may not know the true purpose of the funds they are allocating. The system is designed to create deniability and minimize the number of people in the know. This compartmentalization is key. An engineer working on a propulsion system may have no idea it is for a hypersonic reconnaissance drone. She only knows her small piece of the puzzle. This culture of concealment is not new, but its modern incarnation is far more complex. It extends beyond government labs and military bases. It pulls in private contractors, academic institutions, and tech corporations. These partners are bound by ironclad non-disclosure agreements and the threat of severe legal repercussions. The entire ecosystem is engineered to prevent leaks. The penalty for speaking out is not just loss of a job, but potential imprisonment. This creates a powerful deterrent, ensuring that the secrets of the state remain secrets. The system works by making the personal cost of revealing the truth far too high for anyone to bear. Ultimately, this veil of darkness is seen by its architects as a necessary evil. They believe it is the only way to protect national interests in a dangerous world. To them, public debate is a luxury that cannot be afforded when facing existential threats. Transparency is viewed as a vulnerability, an opening for enemies to exploit. While this mindset is understandable from a purely strategic perspective, it creates a profound democratic deficit. The public is asked to trust that its leaders are making the right decisions in the dark, with technologies that have the power to alter the future of humanity. It is a heavy trust to place in a system that, by its very nature, operates without accountability. History is littered with the ghosts of secret weapon programs. These projects, once the most sensitive secrets of their time, offer a chilling glimpse into how governments operate behind the curtain. The Manhattan Project is the most famous example. During World War II, the United States mobilized over 130,000 people and spent billions of dollars, all in complete secrecy, to develop the atomic bomb. The public, and even most of Congress, had no idea that the nation was on the verge of unleashing nuclear fire. The project's success fundamentally altered the course of history, demonstrating the immense power that could be cultivated in the shadows, away from public scrutiny and ethical debate. Another prime example is the development of the U-2 spy plane in the 1950s. At the height of the Cold War, the CIA needed a way to see what was happening inside the Soviet Union. They turned to Lockheed's Skunk Works, a legendary division known for its secrecy and rapid innovation. The result was a glider-like aircraft that could fly at an astonishing 70,000 feet, far above Soviet air defenses. For years, the U-2 flew with impunity, its existence officially denied by the US government. It was a phantom, a ghost in the stratosphere, until one was shot down in 1960. The incident exposed the program and created a major international crisis, but not before it had provided invaluable intelligence for years. The story of the SR-71 Blackbird is even more remarkable. It was the successor to the U-2, an aircraft designed to fly at more than 3 times the speed of sound. Its development was a monumental undertaking, pushing the boundaries of materials science and engineering. Made of titanium, it flew so fast and high that no missile could catch it. For decades, the Blackbird was the ultimate reconnaissance tool, its capabilities shrouded in myth and secrecy. Its existence was only officially acknowledged long after it was operational. It represents the pinnacle of a certain kind of secret project, one so advanced that it seems to belong to science fiction, yet it was very real, a product of hidden budgets and brilliant minds. These historical examples teach us a crucial lesson. The most transformative military technologies often begin their lives in total secrecy. The pattern is consistent, a perceived threat emerges, a clandestine program is initiated, and immense resources are poured into it without public knowledge. The success of projects like the atomic bomb and the SR-71 created a powerful precedent. It solidified the belief within the national security establishment that secrecy is not just a tactic, but a prerequisite for groundbreaking success. This legacy echoes today, providing the justification for the hidden programs of the 21st century, which are likely far more advanced than anything we have seen before. The secret weapons of today are not just faster planes or bigger bombs, they represent fundamental shifts in the nature of warfare. We are entering an era of exotic arms and experimental technologies that exist on the fringes of public knowledge. One major area of development is directed energy weapons. These are systems that use focused energy such as high-power microwaves or lasers to disrupt, damage, or destroy targets. The US military has openly acknowledged some low-level systems like those designed to disable drones, but whispers persist of far more powerful, weaponized systems capable of engaging targets at the speed of light, effectively neutralizing missiles or aircraft with invisible beams of energy. Another frontier is hypersonic technology. This involves vehicles, both missiles and potential reconnaissance platforms, that travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5. At such velocities, they are incredibly difficult to detect and intercept. Russia and China have made their progress in this area public, creating a new arms race. The United States is also racing to develop its own hypersonic arsenal, but many of its most advanced projects remain deeply classified. The goal is not just to build a faster missile, but to create a weapon that can strike anywhere on Earth in under an hour, rendering traditional defenses almost useless. The sheer speed and maneuverability of these weapons change the strategic calculus entirely. Beyond speed and energy, there is the murky world of neuroweapons and bioregulators. These are technologies that aim to influence the human body and mind. While much of this field is speculative, research into acoustics, radio frequencies, and biological agents that can affect human cognition and behavior is a documented reality. The concern is that these non-lethal technologies could be weaponized to incapacitate soldiers or even influence civilian populations without firing a single shot. The ethical lines here are incredibly blurry, which is precisely why such programs, if they exist in an advanced state, would be among the most fiercely guarded secrets of all. Finally, the weaponization of space and artificial intelligence represents the ultimate high ground. We hear about GPS satellites and communication networks, but the real secretive work likely involves offensive capabilities. This could include co-orbital killer satellites designed to disable or destroy other satellites, or advanced AI systems capable of waging autonomous cyber and kinetic warfare. An AI that can think and react faster than any human could dominate a future battlefield. The development of such systems happens in digital black sites. Their algorithms and capabilities unknown to anyone outside a small, highly cleared circle. These are the ghosts of the modern arsenal, technologies that are reshaping our world from the shadows. The reasons for maintaining such intense secrecy around advanced weapon programs are, well, complex and multi-layered. The most cited justification is, of course, national security. In a world of geopolitical competition, possessing a decisive technological advantage is the ultimate insurance policy. If a nation develops a capability that its rivals just can't counter, it gains immense leverage in international affairs. Announcing such a weapon prematurely would, honestly, erase that advantage. It would give adversaries time to analyze the technology, steal the plans, and develop their own versions or countermeasures. Secrecy, therefore, is not just about protecting a single weapon. It's about preserving a strategic edge that may have taken decades and billions of dollars to build. Political considerations also play a huge role in the silence. Many of these advanced weapons are inherently destabilizing. A weapon that can strike without warning or a technology that can incapacitate entire populations would shatter existing treaties and norms of warfare. Revealing such a program could trigger a frantic new arms race, forcing other nations to accelerate their own secret projects in response. It could also lead to immense international pressure, condemnation from allies, and calls for new arms control treaties that would limit the nation's freedom of action. For political leaders, it's often far easier to keep these programs in the dark than to deal with the messy and unpredictable diplomatic fallout. Furthermore, there's the issue of public reaction. The general populace might not support the development of certain types of weapons. Just imagine the public debate over autonomous killer robots or genetically targeted bioweapons. The ethical and moral objections would be fierce. Such a debate could lead to protests, political pressure, and ultimately, the defunding or cancellation of the program. From the perspective of the military and intelligence communities, public opinion can be a significant obstacle to what they see as necessary work. Secrecy allows them to bypass this potential opposition and continue development without interference, operating under the assumption that they know what is best for the nation's defense. Finally, the global competition itself creates a powerful incentive for secrecy. In the high-stakes game of military technology, every major power assumes that its rivals are also working on secret projects. This creates a perpetual cycle of suspicion and clandestine development. The fear is that if you pause your secret work, your adversary will not, and you'll be left vulnerable. This dynamic, often referred to as the security dilemma, ensures that the shadows will continue to be filled with hidden programs. Each nation's secrecy justifies the secrecy of others, creating a global system where the most advanced military research is, by necessity, conducted out of sight. The silence is a product of a deeply distrustful international environment. At the heart of every secret weapons program lies the core argument of national security. This term is, honestly, the ultimate trump card, the justification that silences dissent and overrides nearly all other considerations. From the perspective of defense planners, the world is a perpetually dangerous place. Threats are ever present and, constantly evolving. To them, the only rational response is to pursue every possible technological advantage to ensure the nation's survival and sovereignty. This mindset really posits that peace is maintained not through trust, but through strength. A secret, game-changing weapon is seen as the ultimate guarantor of that strength, a deterrent so powerful that no enemy would dare to attack. This rationale creates a powerful imperative to operate outside the normal bounds of transparency. The development of a revolutionary weapon system is a delicate process. It requires long-term investment, tolerance for failure, and, most importantly, time. Public and political scrutiny can be fickle. A program that is showing slow progress might be cancelled by politicians looking to cut costs, even if it is on the verge of a breakthrough. Secrecy insulates these high-risk, high-reward projects from the winds of political change and the impatience of the public. It allows scientists and engineers the space they need to solve incredibly difficult problems, away from the glare of media headlines and congressional hearings. The national security argument also extends to the concept of deterrence. During the Cold War, the doctrine of mutually assured destruction, MAD, kept the peace, but it was based on known capabilities. Today's strategic thinkers may be pursuing a new kind of deterrence, one based on unknown capabilities. If an adversary does not know what you are capable of, they must be more cautious. They have to assume the worst. This deterrence by uncertainty is a powerful psychological tool. The possibility that the United States might possess a secret space weapon or a silent hypersonic drone forces potential enemies to think twice before acting aggressively. The mystery itself becomes a form of power. However, this reliance on national security as a blanket justification is not without its dangers. It can be used to shield programs that are not just secret, but also ill-conceived, wasteful, or ethically abhorrent. Without oversight, there is no one to question the cost, the feasibility, or the moral implications of a project. The same secrecy that protects a vital national asset can also hide colossal failure or profound corruption. The argument for security can become a shield for unaccountability, creating a system where mistakes are buried instead of corrected, and where dangerous new paths can be pursued without any form of democratic consent. The ultimate justification can also become the ultimate excuse. Among the many speculative secret programs, few have captured the imagination quite like the Aurora project. The whispers began in the late 1980s. They spoke of a mysterious hypersonic reconnaissance aircraft, a successor to the SR-71 Blackbird. Evidence was always circumstantial, but, honestly, tantalizing. A 1985 budget document mentioned a project line item named Aurora, which was allocated significant funding before vanishing from future public documents. Strange seismic signatures, consistent with a high-speed aircraft, were recorded over California. Unexplained skyquakes and bizarre pulsed contrails were reported by observers across the globe. These were the breadcrumbs that fueled the legend of a top-secret spy plane. The theory holds that Aurora was a hypersonic vehicle, possibly using a revolutionary pulse detonation engine capable of reaching speeds of Mach 6 or higher. It was believed to be a crewed aircraft that took off from a conventional runway and could reach any point on the globe in a matter of hours. Despite decades of speculation and investigation by amateur and professional sleuths alike, no definitive proof, no photograph, no leaked document, no whistleblower has ever emerged. Officials have consistently denied its existence. Aurora remains a phantom, a case study in how a secret program can exist, at least in the public mind, purely as a collection of unverified claims and intriguing coincidences. Its status remains firmly unverified. Another persistent theory involves the concept of a secret space fleet, often referred to by the moniker Solar Warden. Proponents of this theory allege that the U.S. Navy and Air Force operate a fleet of advanced anti-gravity spacecraft in orbit. They claim that this technology was reverse-engineered from recovered extraterrestrial craft and is used to patrol the solar system and defend against potential threats. This theory is far more speculative than Aurora, and relies heavily on the testimony of a few alleged insiders and hackers. While the U.S. has an official military space program, the claims of Solar Warden go far beyond any acknowledged capabilities. This theory resides on the extreme edge of speculation, lacking credible evidence. These cases, whether plausible like Aurora or highly speculative like Solar Warden, highlight a critical point. The extreme secrecy surrounding military research creates a vacuum of information, and into that vacuum, speculation, rumor, and theory will always rush. The government's policy of never confirm, never deny regarding classified projects only adds fuel to the fire. It leaves the public to wonder what is real and what is fantasy. The truth about these phantom projects may be that they never existed at all. Or, the truth may be that they were even more advanced and stranger than we can imagine. Until the veil is lifted, they will remain powerful symbols of what might be hidden from view. The development of weapons in absolute secrecy carries profound ethical risks. When a program is hidden from public view, it is also hidden from public debate and moral scrutiny. This creates a closed loop where the only people judging the ethics of a new weapon are the same people who are building it. This can lead to a dangerous form of tunnel vision. Scientists and military leaders, focused on solving a technical problem or countering a perceived threat, may not fully consider the long-term consequences of their creation. A weapon developed in secret without the checks and balances of open discourse could be deployed one day with unforeseen and catastrophic results for global stability and human rights. One of the greatest ethical perils is the erosion of democratic accountability. In a democracy, the people are supposed to have a say in the momentous decisions made in their name, especially those of war and peace. Secret weapons programs fundamentally undermine this principle. The public cannot consent to or protest against a technology it does not know exists. This secrecy transfers an immense amount of power to a small, unelected group of defense officials, intelligence officers, and corporate contractors. They become the de facto arbiters of the nation's military future, making decisions that could lead to new forms of conflict without any input from the citizens they are sworn to protect. Furthermore, secret weapons development can shatter the established laws of war. International humanitarian law is built around principles like distinction, discriminating between combatants and civilians, and proportionality, ensuring an attack is not excessive relative to the military advantage gained. How do these principles apply to a weapon that can cause mass disruption through invisible energy waves, or an autonomous AI that makes its own targeting decisions in milliseconds? Developing such weapons in secret means that the legal and ethical frameworks are not being updated. We risk creating weapons that operate outside of any existing law, creating a legal and moral void on the future battlefield. The secrecy also has consequences for the individuals involved. The scientists and engineers working on these projects are often bound by oaths that prevent them from ever discussing their work, even with their families. This can create immense psychological strain. More importantly, it prevents them from seeking outside ethical counsel if they have misgivings about the project they are working on. There is no safe channel for a whistleblower to raise concerns without risking their career and freedom. This system can trap well-intentioned people in morally compromising situations, forcing them to contribute to projects that may violate their own conscience, all under the heavy blanket of national security. We stand at a precipice, staring into a future shaped by technologies we cannot see and do not understand. The historical precedents and current whispers all point to a single, unsettling conclusion. The most advanced instruments of power are being forged in darkness. The gap between the public's perception of military capability and the classified reality has likely never been wider. We have discussed directed energy, hypersonics, and autonomous systems, but these are merely the concepts that have managed to leak into the periphery of our awareness. They are the shadows on the cave wall, hinting at the true forms that remain hidden from our sight. The evolution of warfare has not stopped. It has simply gone underground. This hidden development raises a fundamental challenge to our sense of security and control. The very systems intended to protect us are being created without our knowledge or consent. This paradox lies at the heart of the modern security state. We are asked to place our faith in an invisible shield, trusting that those who wield it have our best interests at heart. But without transparency, there can be no true trust, only a hopeful assumption. The secrecy that is meant to provide a strategic advantage over our enemies also creates a strategic disadvantage for democracy itself, fostering a public that is uninformed and disengaged from the most critical decisions of our time. The logical endpoint of this trajectory is a world where conflicts can be fought and won by unseen forces. A battle could be waged in cyberspace, in low Earth orbit, or even in the cognitive domain, with the general population being completely unaware. The very definition of a battlefield is changing. It's no longer just a physical place, but a multi-layered domain where secret technologies can be deployed to achieve strategic objectives quietly and efficiently. This is the ultimate goal of many of these hidden programs, to gain the ability to exert power without triggering a visible, conventional war. It's a cleaner, more subtle form of domination, and so, we're left with a final provocative question that should linger in the mind of every citizen. As you go about your day in a world that seems stable and predictable, what unseen forces are at play? What technologies are being tested in the desolate deserts and silent oceans of our planet? What new form of power is about to be unleashed from the shadows? The history of secret weapons programs tells us that something is always being built out of sight, something that will one day emerge and change everything. We can only wonder what it is and whether we are prepared for its arrival. What else is out there?